For thrilling story of the lucky people on the planet, it was the fourth time to win the lottery. The 7 times survived, who escaped after the second atomic bomb was thrown. The first is one woman 4 times winning lottery ticket, Joan R. Ginther, 63, doctorate in statistical probability at Stanford University. Now living in Las Vegas, USA, is said to be the luckiest woman world 4 times, as many as all lottery winnings $1 million. The first time she hit 5.4 million. A decade later, she hit 2 million. 2 years later, she earned $3 million, and in the summer of 2010, she won the lottery jackpot prize of $10 million. Although Ms Ginther now lives in Las Vegas, but both were 4 times she won the lottery in Texas. After 4 times to win the lottery, she holding on to his $20.4 million, approximately 400 billion Vietnam, and suddenly became rich. However, until the present time, many people do not see it as a natural sign of her soaring again. Many people began to doubt and to question whether this is a coincidence of luck or not. Others said that, thanks to a solid understanding of industry statistical probability, that she learned the rules, the organizing algorithm in Lucky. From there, find out what the winning lottery jackpots. However, so far there is no basis can prove she used to hit the window algorithm. Despite all of the talk, the Texas Lottery Commission, where she was not winning, any doubts on any theory. 2. Person 2 times escaped death after the atomic bomb thrown. Mr. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was born on March 16, 1916 in Nagasaki. Japan is considered the world's luckiest, survived both atomic bombs, little boy and fat man. In 1945, he set to work at Mitsubishi Heavy Industries in the shipbuilding engineer position. That was when the U.S. Air Force dropped on Hiroshima from B-29 Flying Fortress and was detonated at a height of nearly 600 meters, killing 70,000 people instantly and causing tens of thousands of others died in the following days due to radioactive contamination. He woke up in Yamaguchi's and 3 kilometers distance to the center of the explosion, suffered serious burns, hair burned off, and partial deafness due to explosions too large. 3 days later, he went to Nagasaki to work report. The other light appeared, swept straight into the office where Yamaguchi standing. It is the second atomic bomb. Fat Man has been named the next drop-down city of Nagasaki. Rather miraculous, Mr. Yamaguchi unheard after the second explosion that although just over 3 kilometers from the epicenter, more magic, though their homes were destroyed in the blast, but his wife and children still survived. Yamaguchi was family week in the tent to shelter. Mr. Yamaguchi died in 2010 at the age of 93 years old. Third man survived 7 times. Frane Selak, born 1929 in Croatia, is considered to be the luckiest man in the world 7 times while undergoing spectacular escape. The first time occurred in the winter of 1962. When he Frane Selak away from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik train, the ship suddenly derailed and plunged into the river in cold water, accidents in which at least 17 people were killed. But he survived Selak again. He was only 34 years old and could not believe that this accident is just the opening act for a series of unfortunate events 40 years later. A year later, the first time his jet-lagged Selak frame turned into tragedy when the aircraft hit the mountain, crashing to the ground with breakneck speed and then explode. He is the only lucky passenger survived when hitting a haystack. In 1970, the Selak frame's hair had been burned when he was driving. The car suddenly exploded. Was so unlucky with the transport. Selak frame has decided to walk to work, but bad luck still pursued when he was a bus crashed in 1995. A year later, on a spur collision caused by Frane Selak, car was sent flying and falling from a height of nearly 100 meters into the ground. The car exploded while he again miraculously escaped death after thrown from the vehicle and landed safely on a tree. After 7 times escaped death miraculously at the age of 74. He also found really lucky when the first lottery jackpots were hit, even worth $1.11 million. Fourth person cannot be assassinated. Fidel Castro was born on the 13th of August 1926 as one of the great leaders of Cuba. He has served as Prime Minister from May 2, 1959 Cuba until December 12, 1976, and then as President for the Cuban State Council until he from office in July 2, 2008. According to Cuban intelligence agency, has a total of 638 targeted assassinations from CIA. Fidel Castro since the Cuban exiles, the mafiosi, mercenaries, and even his former lover. In total, 638 to assassinate, in addition to the classic way used exclusively for the leaders as snipers, bomb, or gifts containing explosives. Then there are extremely unique and creative as cigars, poisoned cigars, laced explosives, diving suits who look poisonous, mushrooms laced, toxic chemicals in the shoe, the bacteria in a handkerchief, then poison in tea, coffee, or a ballpoint pen with a needle. CIA poison, but failed. Cuba's Fidel Castro, now 89 years old and are no longer involved in politics.
Thank you for your support. Please share, like, and subscribe.